I'm Tesla. Check out our brand new showroom. This is the first instructional video we're shooting in here. We thought we'd walk around and show you all of the items on display. We've got everything on a turntable or a turnstile by vehicle, along with videos, examples of the installations of all our products. And then we've got our great carbon fiber wall for Model 3 and Model Y owners. Anyway, if you're in Orange County, California, come by anytime and check it all out. Today, we're going to make a great installation video. This is the Model S Plaid carbon fiber upgrade protection kit that converts all of the carbon fiber in your Model S Plaid to a glossy finish. So check this out over here. All of us S owners have this great car with a glossy finish, glossy mirror caps, glossy trim, but the carbon is all matte finish. So what does matte finish means? It means that Tesla installs these products and they have another coat put on top of the beautiful carbon fiber to give it a matte, two-dimensional look. Glossy carbon fiber, on the other hand, has a three-dimensional look. Check out our steering wheel here. This is our carbon fiber steering wheel upgrade, and that's a glossy finish. Now, most people prefer gloss. It's in the most expensive exotic cars. We've got our armrest cover on, our steering wheel installed. Check out our mirror caps. We've got our turn signal indicator covers. In the back here, we've got our Plaid glossy carbon fiber spoiler installed. Again, glossy is Model S and Model X for 2022. Even the door handles are glossy black. Everything is glossy. So now let me tell you what you're going to get in this 12-piece kit. So in this kit, you're going to get a nice urethane squeegee for installing clear bra. You're going to get a soap packet that you're going to add 42 ounces of water, which is going to make this soap solution. And then we're going to teach you right now how to install this entire 12-piece kit. This will go on every single interior piece of carbon fiber, and it's going to make it look glossy. It's actually going to restore the glossy finish. So it's great, it's amazing, it's simple. So let's get right at it. So after you mix your water, you're going to notice you have a soap solution. In this soap solution, you want to set it to a mist, and you want to make sure your hands are clean. And you want to make sure that every time you peel one of these off, you're not doing it with dry fingers, because you don't want to have dry fingerprints. So let's start with the first item. This is driver's side and passenger side, and this is the actual front door. So watch this. Spray it, pick it, peel it, and we're going to put this on the driver's door. So how do you install it? So we're going to talk briefly about Clear Bra. Again, this is Expel Clear Bra paint protection film. This is the best you can buy. We're making it out of Expel Ultimate Plus. So this is 10-year warranty. And again, this can get scratched by rings, by jewelry, but when you install this over it, you're going to have two benefits. One, you're going to have a glossy look, and two, you're going to have a covered, protected surface. So the first thing you want to do is wipe everything down in the car with alcohol, clean all the carbon fiber surfaces up. But let's get this one installed. So get a little mist on it. Don't soak your door panels too much. You can cover them up with a towel if you want. But if you do a minimal amount, you'll be fine. So check out how evenly this fits. Now this pattern was all developed by Expel. They sell it on their website, but they sell a full interior upgrade kit. This is only for carbon fiber. So I'm going to come on this side, and again, the nice thing about installing this stuff, you can see right away the beautiful shine you're going to have when you install it. So again, we're just going to lift this up, put a little mist on it, and then we're going to go like this, and we're going to slide it right into place. So check out this corner, and I'm going to anchor this piece. I'm going to make sure I'm all the way down and I'm not on the plastic chrome trim pieces. And now I'm going to go all the way across. Again, you just lift it up. It slides around with the soap solution. Put it right on here. And it's done. All the way down like this. and you'll see it reaches all the way to the very end of the carbon fiber. So again, this stuff can be stretched and pulled as needed, but again, these were cut exactly from this piece and molded off of this piece. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a tug. I want it to reach all the way around there. And again, we're going to do the entire interior, the center console, the dashboard. We're going to film the whole thing here in real time, the first time we're putting it on as well. That's what we always try to do, represent what it'd be like for you, a fellow Tesla owner, installing one of our kits. And again, this one is all made by Expel. All we did was pick out all the pieces we wanted to sell with it, cut it out, and make the video and put it on our website. So that's the background of it. And you can see now it's all starting to grab. So what happens with the soap solution is it evaporates, it dries out, and the adhesive on the back side is what sticks to the car. So now with a little towel, I'm going to dry my door off and dry off the PPF. PPF, of course, is clear bra or paint protection film. Dry it right up, and then give it a chance to dry on its own a little bit. Then we go back with the squeegee, and we'll get this nice tough edge or tight edge all the way done through here. You also could pull this panel off if you wanted to, just like this, and put it on at your kitchen table. But in the car is kind of fun, so we didn't bother making it that way. All right, so the first piece is done. Again, I'm putting a little more water on top, and I'm squeegeeing the water out so it'll dry faster. So notice the squeegee's bending. I'm pushing it out. So it's pushing the water out underneath, so it will dry quick. Excuse me, and then we will come back, go over all the edges. You could use a heat gun if you want, but we're going to show you in real time how easy it is. So why don't we grab the dashboard next, which is a long, unique piece. It's actually made in two pieces. So come on out, and we'll pull that one off, and then we'll get a chair and film it like this. So here is the dashboard piece. Now originally Expel's pattern had a big gap behind the display. We've extended it all the way across, but it is two pieces. And that of course makes it easier to install. So again, the golden rule, fingers wet, display wet. Everything wet, you're going to put it on, and make sure your hands are wet, and just peel it right off. Okay, it's a little thin there, so get behind it. And again, spray the back of it, because if this sticks to something, it could be a real pain to get hair out or dirt out. So peel it all the way off. And you notice right here, it broke into two pieces. Spray the front, spray the back, it doesn't matter. And let's climb in the car and get started. And you'll have nothing to worry about. A little mist on it. Now same thing here, a little mist. Don't soak your display, and just plop it down. So again, this is a U shape, just like the display is. Slide it all the way down here to the end. Notice the V we have in the end. This is going to wrap around. So we're setting it up, laying it all down, and showing how it's going to go all the way behind. And we'll lay this piece back here and put it right down. Okay, so we're going to come back here and start on this side. Okay, so now the dashboard. So we're taking this dash, making sure your fingers are wet. If they're not wet, you're going to put fingerprints on it. No fingerprints. Keep them nice and wet. Just to that edge, just like that, and squeegee it down. When you squeegee it down, you're pushing the water out, so it kind of anchors it. But look at it, it looks awesome already. You can still see the 3D effect you get from glossy carbon. And if that edge is right there, you're good to go. So we're going to continue across, lifting, placing it down, turning it a little bit if you need to get it all the way down. So again, we want to get this all the way on this edge, all the way across. So we're kept this here, And we're on this edge. So again, the thing you got to think about with plotters and vinyl, in this case urethane plastic, is that you can only cut two-dimensionally, but everything in the real world is three-dimensional. So don't be worried if you have to move it around a little bit, shape it, pull it. You'll notice that over here, right up against the display, is a nice corner. So see this corner here? Same thing. I'm going to pull it a little bit, make sure it stretches all the way to the corner, just like that. That's good. The display turned off. It's easier. So now everything is taking its shape, ending up where it's supposed to be. If you need to reposition it, that's the best part. You just, all you gotta do to reposition is lift it up. Now my towel is up there, so if you get your display wet, just dry it off. Nothing in the car is waterproof, so just be careful you don't get it all over too much. Clear all the way here, down, down, down. And now I'm gonna hold this down. So just, you can see this piece right here, and a little bit of pressure, and a little squeegee. When you push the water out, it starts to grab. And again, always check this line here. Make sure we're not on top of the aluminum rail at any time. And then in the back here, same thing. I'm just giving it a little bit of a tug to make it reach all the way there, all the way here, so it's nice and snug. All the way down. All right. That one looks good. I'm gonna give it a little bit of pressure. And again, you wanna let it dry out. And then we'll do our final, call it squeegee at the end. So don't worry, it's gonna fit perfect right to the back. It's gonna go right around this monitor. So this is a very nice pattern that Expel made. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit. There we go. And right there, and then all the way up. So you do a little bit of movement with your fingers, and then with the squeegee. You'll do this once, and it'll be on here for 10 or 20 years. Even in direct sunlight, you get a 10-year warranty from Expel on peeling, cracking, and fading. And again, if you notice it's pulled away at all, just reach it and put it back down. So again, I'm gonna put a little bit of water on top and squeegee it down really hard, so it's tacking or locking down in place here. I'm even gonna wrap the edge over. Okay, so again, now we're just gonna place this down, let this sit. We're gonna go over the other side, and Rob's gonna come in here and film me over the top doing this, and then we'll show you as we go how to get all this down perfect. So we'll just hit this first. Again, the squeegee, remember the squeegee is pushing the water out. So see over here, yeah, see on the front here? See on the front, just make sure you're lined up good here. Pushing this down. Yeah, it's really grabbing good. Okay. And now this is right up there. Perfect. Okay, so don't be obsessed or too worried about this side. Don't worry about this being loose. This is just going to require a little bit of stretching to push it down and tack it down. But the important thing is we are on the ridge of the aluminum, and now it's going to dry. And then we're going to come back and we're going to tack it down just like this without a heat gun. So we're going to switch now. I'm going to go on the other side, get the other piece, and then we're going to continue back here, picking up from right here and meeting up in the back. I'm going to do one more thing real quick. Fingers wet. Let's push this down. So my fingers are acting like a squeegee here. Pushing this down, holding this down while this dries out. Again, this is the most difficult part because it is the most contoured. When we get over to this center console, it's really easy. So all this is going to be super easy to put on. We'll be doing that in a few minutes. And then the back seat, we've got 2 door panels and the cup holder and the rear armrest that we added to the pattern. Okay, so there, everything's good. As long as you're on here, good. Proceed with moving to the other side, and then don't worry, you'll be able to come back and move things around. Before we do that, let's look at this door panel. I mean, look at the difference in this panel and that door. So that's before, and look at after. Look at this beautiful Expel Ultimate Plus paint protection film. Up close, you can see how good it fits, how it covers the entire surface of the carbon, and it's gonna look amazing in your car. You can't scratch it with a ring, or women with rocks can scratch it. And anyway, now this one's been here a few minutes, like I mentioned. I'm gonna go over it one more time, squeegeeing it on the top and the bottom, getting all the water out. And this thing is 99% finished. Even that edge up there that was loose is now drying out and sticking good. And then don't push too hard. Use your towel, wipe your door off, and gently push down on it while holding on one side. And you can see how you now have beautiful 3-dimensional glossy carbon fiber installed. It looks just like our mirror caps on the outside, doesn't it? All right, so now we're going to continue. And again, this is going to hold down now as it dries. See that? Perfect. So as it starts to dry out, you're just going to tack it down, and that way it'll be permanent. And then we're going to go around it and go over all the edges, clean everything up. But again, there's nothing wrong with leaving it and moving on to the next piece, as long as you're nice and secured along all the edges around the moldings. So again, leave this down. This is going to tack and stick, and we're going to come back to all this. So I'm going to go over one more time with a quick squeegee, locking it down. Same thing on the back here. I want this corner to be perfect. Right here where the display turns in a lot of the newer cars, it comes out and turns and rotates. So we want to make sure we got that down nice and perfect. See, I'm tucking it in here. So if you do have the turning display mount, I would definitely move it out and turn it to the right or the left, and you'll be able to get to these areas really good. So again, don't worry about this. Don't try to tack it yet. Just leave the front down. Use a little towel to dry it. And we're going to let this one set up, so to speak. So when we come back in 5 minutes, it'll be just like this door panel over here. It'll be looking just perfect. Okay, let's cut and switch side. Okay, now this is the last video in the whole series, and we're going to do a review and show everything up close in super HD. So now we're just finishing the last piece in the dashboard. So again, we took this pattern and we enhanced it, lengthened it, so it covers the complete area from the middle of the back of here all the way to the edge of the door. So let's get started. All right, and we have a super bright light we're going to put on to show everybody up close in 4K, as well as with a super bright light, what everything looks like. And anyway, fingertips wet, remember that. And a little mist on top. And let's get started. Pull it off, get it all loose, and then get the back wet or damp in the front. Okay, a little behind the screen. And now we're going to get it right up here and show you how nice it lines up. So look at this corner we have here on the left side. Obviously that's the newest addition where we rounded it off to fit really good. So when you lay this right on here and you lay this right across all the aluminum, you'll see how it runs right down to the edge. Look at that, absolutely perfect. Line it up just like this, then we're going to flip this over. Right now it's wet, so it's not going to hold. So we'll come back here, and again, we've got to get this lined up on top
of the aluminum. And then here you gotta turn it a little bit so it runs flat. And then again, because it's not a flat surface, we turn it. All right, I'm gonna start squeegeeing. So first thing I'm gonna do is pull a little this way and anchor this piece. So this is my corner right here, all the way in there. So there's my anchor. So just shoot straight on like this. Okay, now as I come down, we wanna make sure the film stays of the urethane plastic. Sometimes I don't like to call it film. Sometimes people think film means it's vinyl, but super thick urethane. Come all the way down here, here. And as long as it's on the edge, keep going. The minute it's not, you gotta push the finger out. Stay right there, stay right there. And now the last piece. So from here to here, there's just a little bit of a turn to angle it down. Let's anchor it. All right, same thing here. Just make sure all the water's going out and you're not short of the aluminum rail and you're not on top of it. So push it down and out. Get all the water out. Okay, so now we're gonna go behind the screen, and I think we're gonna go on the other side, and we're gonna get a nice high angle so you can see how we're gonna drop that down. But before that, one more time, we go across here. Use your towel gently. Make sure you're pushing all the water out. And I'm going across. All right, so now let's let this set up a little bit. Anchor. We'll get the water out, let it dry out, and then we'll do the top part. Okay, let's go to the driver's side with the camera, and we'll continue over there. Okay, we're behind the display, and now we're going to peel this back slightly and just get a little mist in here, and a little mist on top. And then don't worry, we're gonna dry everything up. Don't worry about the little water spill. Now, see how I'm moving this? It should come right up to this piece. So if you hopefully you can get all this right down there. So now the two are gonna butt up next to each other. Just like that. It's okay if one overlaps the other one. It doesn't make a difference. This is like invisible to see. Take your little squeegee. And it is a little tough to get back here. So hopefully you'll have a display that turns, unlike my car. Okay, and now we're gonna put some pressure on it and dry it. So again, it's not squeegeed down too well. So you just wanna make sure it's in the right place. Now there is a little gap, right? So we're gonna stretch it. So if you wanna cover the gap all the way up, of course we'll make it a little bit longer, but let me show you what you can do with a little bit of pulling. So on this side, like I showed you, I'm anchored right up against the display. But now, I'm going to tug on that end piece, just like this, and pull it all the way down so I can feel that end, push it down, and now the whole piece is on water. I'm gliding it down, so we'll extend it slightly some more, just so when you look over the top, if you can get up here, you will see. We'll close this gap up, or you can just do it like this. Just a little pull till it hits the other one. So that's matte. This is glossy. Right there. And you hold it. Again, you squeegee. Water out. And then now we barely have a little seam in between. And again, you can overlap it if you want, or you can leave it short. Either way, it's gonna stay as long as you press it down. Now, like we always say, let it all dry out a little bit. Let everything liquefy out, evaporate. On this side, you'll notice that I'm just going along this edge one more time. Gonna let it dry out some more. All these little water spots, or these little high spots, squeegee right out, gone. And clean off extension display. And then a little more pressure. Now I'm just pushing down with my palm lightly. I'm checking the lines, and I'm not worried about water or soap or anything underneath. Okay, that's it. Now we're gonna come back in about 20 minutes, and we're gonna push this piece down. I'm gonna make sure everything is down all the way down here. And sometimes it will stick up if there's too much material at the bottom. So if you've got a little water under this edge, just ignore it. It's gonna dry and it's gonna grab. And so just like this, in a matter of hours. Super high gloss, scratch resistant. We're gonna make another video where we're gonna take a wire brush and show you how this heals, and it'll protect your carbon fiber panels for years to come. More than 10 years probably, whoever owns the car after you. All right, so now let's let it dry out some. And again, everything is good. I'm not up on the rail, and the rail is not too high. This flap is long enough. I got a big piece of dust in here. I'm gonna pull this out, pull that out, put that right back down. So don't be afraid to lift it up. Just don't stretch it and pull it up after it's dry. You won't get lift lines if it's wet. If it's dried out, you can get some lines that are kind of nasty on white surfaces. But there we go. Everything looks great. It's right to the edge, right on this back edge. Can you see on a high angle? It's absolutely perfect pattern. Spell makes great stuff. And then of course we lengthened it. Let's take one more peek in the back. Yep, it looks really good. Everything is down to this small overlap, which is gonna dry out great. So let's take a break. We'll come back, let it dry out some more. And then what we'll do is we'll get some tomorrow when it's completely dry. So we're gonna come back and get this little spot, get that dust off of there. We're gonna press that down. Right now it's not gonna hold, like I said, on a 90-degree angle until it dries out. So we're gonna come back and kind of massage this down just like this. All right, we'll be back in a minute, thanks. The charging dock has our nice silicone liner over it. Isn't this nice? Keeps all the dirt off the Alcantara. But just raise it up and put a towel under it, something to support it, because we're going to squeegee underneath and we want to get the whole sliding tray. Okay, number one, clean, clean, clean. We can't emphasize this enough. Clean it with the soap water, clean it with alcohol. Just make sure there's no grease on it, and watch how easy this one's gonna be. The flatter, the easier. Okay, with squeegee in hand, clean surface, we're gonna go up here, get your fingers wet, and spray it, and get this corner off. The corners are a little hard to see. And we're gonna peel it all the way off. And again, remember, get it wet in a mist on the front and the back, and spray the surface where you're gonna mount it and plop it down. And watch how it just floats around. So again, there's gonna be a front and a back. Look like they're pretty squared off. The back gets a little wider. So for us, it was pretty obvious that this is gonna be the back, and that's gonna be the front. You can test it, try it. You can even roll it back, see how it's gonna look. But now we're gonna center it. So just use your hands here. We don't have a light on. Why don't we stop and put the light on? So let's get this in position. Now again, this is cut exactly perfect, laser cut on our plotters here. And once you're squared up, it's gonna go right down the edge. So the first thing to do is to squeegee the water out. So watch how the water just kind of jumps out. Squeegee the water out, wipe it off, but make sure you're not leaving anything showing. So pull it over, get it perfect on both sides. And again, you don't want dust or dirt under this, so you're gonna see it, and you're never gonna stop seeing it. Now, we're gonna go this way. And wipe off the water. And then this way. Look at it already. It looks awesome. Now, we're purposely going to show you how to redo something. So notice this little speck here. Now that's something you don't want to see. It could be water, it could be moisture, but we don't want to risk it. So here's how you troubleshoot. And I hope we're not going on and on here, but reach over, find it right there, pull it back, and pick out whatever is on here. You can use your squeegee, pick it out. So any contaminants, don't be afraid. It leaves a little mark, it's okay, that'll go away. All this is gonna dry out, and it's gonna look a million times better than when you're actually doing it. So have faith. All right, the same thing here. I don't want to stretch it over that edge. Push this finger down, spread it out. So again, make sure you're on here, but not on top of the aluminum rails. Okay, now we're gonna go down here a little bit. I'm gonna lift this up a little higher, and you can see the pattern. It's gonna go all the way down to the end. So I'm just gonna squeegee this out, squeegeeing the water out, and then we let it dry. So again, this is very, very, very easy compared to the dashboard. Just be really gentle that you don't towel dry it too much. And now we're gonna put this back inside and let it dry out. So watch this. I'm gonna slide it in here, let it dry. Get this out of the way, this out of the way. And now we're gonna do the big piece. So this is the center console. It's gonna go from here all the way down, around, all the way under. So we're gonna keep this up like this. We're gonna put a big towel underneath because we wanna have good access to seeing all this. So this is really gonna make it look amazing. And again, look at how nice it's looking already. And this hasn't even dried out. It's gonna look like invisible glossy, but look at the difference between this carbon fiber piece and this. Made it the same factory, but just by using the Expel Ultimate Plus paint protection film. Okay, the big piece. Again, get everything a little wet, position it, we're gonna get where we want it. I'm gonna open my glove box up. I'm gonna take my great tray out of here since there's no reason to get this wet. Again, you can put some towels in here or in here, but again, we've done enough of these to know that all you got to do is just make sure you don't leave excessive amounts of water on anything. There are wires underneath, so again, you could put a towel inside of here so you don't get any of your USB ports wet. And again, a fine mist, it's not going to matter, but just get it all clean. Use alcohol. Again, you don't want to see a speck of dirt or anything on this surface. And turn off your air conditioning when you do this. You don't want dust flying around. And let's put on this. Okay, want to cut, Rob? Okay, all right, we're taking off the big piece, the biggest piece on the whole sheet, which is the center console. Spray it really good. Get this piece off next. With this leg, taking it off of the legs, I guess, here. So here, again, remember the adhesive is on the back and you just don't want to give it a chance to stick to itself. So you got to have wet fingers. And wet fingers will prevent it from sticking to anything, as well as itself. So you don't want to have a big mess stuck to itself. So probably a better idea to do this outside the car too, not indoors. As long as you got someone standing by with a bottle and you're putting that mist on it of soap, it'll be okay. So again, spray, spray, spray. Keep everything wet. It won't stick to itself. Final way here. So it's basically like an octopus, and spray all that, and I'm gonna spray this. Okay, bring it in the car, figure out front and back, and again, everything wet, you don't have to worry. You can pick it up, move it. Just don't give it a chance to stick to itself. So let's take these two pieces first, pull it right up to the edge. What a great pattern, huh? Expel has the best patterns for all car and clear bra piece coverings. So I'm just putting it down. Use your fingers. Keep everything wet. Spread the water around. The soap solution. Again, it's nice to go underneath because you're not going to worry about this. This is cut short. It's based on what's visible. Right? Makes sense. Get it right up to this line. So move it like this. So it fits right up to this edge here. This is critical. And then go over with your fingers. So you're just doing all this work, just spreading it around your fingers. And then anything starts to tack up on you, just pull it up and spray it. Same thing here. I'm going right around here, down here, and hitting the side with a little mist. And then I'm going to have to come over there eventually and make sure this is running all the way up. So we're going to leave this propped up like this while it's drying, maybe half an hour or an hour. So see, this is just going down and up and all the way up there. So again, just push it down so it's riding right on the chrome molding edge. It's like this. So see down here. Okay, this side here. So the back ones, again, if they start to stick, just pull it up. A little mist. Spread it down. And this one's a little strange because you want to get it all the way up here. You don't want to open up your armrest and notice it's not perfect. So you're going to have to let it set up on here a little bit, and then we're going to wrap it over and down. So just let it just dry out a little bit, and then we'll finish this later. So again, if it's hanging on the chrome, you're too far down. Bring it up here, just go across the top. Leave it alone. Let it start to partially dry out. On this side, I'm going to recline my chair back some more. Make sure you have no dirt or food or anything left over. I'm getting tired of hearing myself talk again. But we're trying to narrate. Stick your water bottle in there. Same thing. Keep it up high on the top. This edge is perfect. Just like this. Okay. Haunted chairs. And then same thing here. Okay, so we're going to start squeegeeing soon. So you want to put your towels in place because we're going to have water kind of flying down a little bit. Let me finish this side. Okay, so now we're ready to start tacking. So we need our squeegee again. And remember, before you're going to tack anything down, there's water underneath, but you need water on top. So look at this edge here. This is not that close. Look at that edge there. That edge has gone back. So what we're going to do is get it wet. And we're going to pull this off and find out how this moved. We're going to slide it all up here. See, everything still moves around. Nothing is drying. There's no glue. It's just time-based adhesive. Okay, so this looks good, this looks good. So I say let's anchor this. Now, how do we anchor it? You anchor it by getting the water out. How do you get the water out? Well, it's the strangest thing. You put water on top. I always think it's kind of ironic. So put water on top, put your towel in here, and squeegee this. So this is pushing the water out. Now we're flicking it into our towel. And double check this line. If your lines are good, you're going to stay perfect. Back here, it's good. So again, this is an area that there's no stretching involved. It's flat. So I think this is the ideal place to anchor first. Anchor it, dry it, make sure there's no contaminants, no dust. Now go back to the corners. Take the corners. If you got little material, excessive material, go around here. This corner, same thing. It's short, so we want to pull it up a little bit. Push this down. Again, you can remove this whole thing. Nothing is dried out yet. So that's the best part about paint protection film. It takes a long time to dry, so it's easily adjustable. So let's go back to this side now. I'm gonna lift this up. I'll anchor this. So what's most important to anchoring? Look at this edge and make sure we're all the way up here. And that corner has every millimeter of carbon fiber covered. So just do it like this and then squeegee the water out to lock it down. So again, I'm going all the way across here, all the way across here, making sure everything's down and there's no water. Now if you notice like this is going to dry out. So there's a little pinch there, a pinch of water. So that is going to dry out. We also could lift it up. So you don't get a lot of lift lines, but watch this. So see this right here? Let's go check this. Make sure it's not a speck of dust or anything in the material or a big dog hair or something. And now it's gone. So it probably was a hair, maybe from our seat covers. Seat covers and pets leave a lot of hairs. Okay. All right. So we're squeegeeing, and if it starts to snag, there's a little bit of water on it. So the squeegee will glide along the top. All right. Now we're gonna let this set up a little bit. Lay that down. Tuck it under. And you'll see when this is all said and done that all these edges are going to go right down to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to leave this alone. We're not going to OCD over it. We're going to come to this side and we're going to make sure this is all the way up. So you're just moving the material up, squeezing it down, 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 down. That's good. And now this side, same thing. If you need to pull it up, just get it wet. A little bit of wetness on both sides. Get my arm out of the way. Same thing now. I'm going right like this, right along this edge. And I'm getting the water out with my finger, and it starts to tack up a little. So right down that edge. And all the way down here. Again, the same thing over on this side. We're going to worry about this. We're all done. And this, don't worry. Again, we just want to get it in the basic location, and then all the final tacking will be done at the end. So I moved that around and pulled it away. Now just pulling it up. And again, when you love the location, push the water out and don't let it get too dry. Okay, so now this is good, this is good, this is good. I'm not worried about the bottom, I'm not worried about this. I'll come back and tack this all down. On this edge over here, same thing. Just get a perfect fitment down the side. And again, this one's running around and underneath. And now this side here, same thing. Just just like that. Put it right on the top and roll this over. If your fingers are moist, your fingers can glide around like a squeegee. Okay, so now just make sure all these corners are good. Let's say call it the 4 corners. Make sure they're good, and if we have to make any adjustments, we will. This is holding on here, and this is right against the metal. I can feel it. And you just push it down and around. Make sure you're at the bottom, right? All the way down. Okay, so now I don't want to leave the area, and I want to be able to monitor this. I want to make sure that nothing's coming up, nothing is in the wrong spot. I can see this over here. I'll roll it around with my wet thumb. And now let's do the cup holder. Now the cup holder piece is very unique, the way Expel designed it. We'll bring our template back. And you'll notice the cup holder is 2 pieces. You see it right there. So we've got a top and a bottom, but it makes it a lot easier to put on because, again, of the roundness. So fingers wet, pull it off. Now I believe these are both symmetrical. We'll double check. So I don't think it matters. Plop her back. So we'll plop this one down on here. Now look at how easy this one fits. Fits nice, all the way down, around, up there. Get it off the aluminum edges. Now put it on the aluminum. Just like that. Okay, that one's pretty easy so far. Let's pull this piece off. Get a little wet. Get the little mist on here. Drop this one down. And again, use your fingers. I'm not even using a squeegee. Just put it in place. And then we'll make sure we're off the aluminum pieces. Pulling it away. Here. Here. Okay. Now we're going to get a little squeegee out. The squeegee is going to help tuck it in. Push a little bit of the moisture out. Again, don't squeegee it all the way out unless you're absolutely perfect with it, with the way it fits. Otherwise, we peel it up and start over. All right, so now we add some more water, and we're just trying to spread it around. And again, the piece is 1. It's not a large giant piece, it's 2 pieces, sorry. So just push all this out. And sometimes it gets a little hard to see, so don't be afraid to use a little towel and just dab it. Dab it on the top. Dab it down here. You can see how it's all going. Just talking. Okay, so now here, see this moved around a little, quite a bit, but it's not a problem. You're probably gonna back up. Yeah, it's not a problem. So just center this one. And sometimes you just gotta pull it up and start over, you know, honestly. And drop it right down. And use lots of lights. We had a nice light on there, but it's gone. Overheat iPhone. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting this in place with fingers. And then the squeeze is gonna tuck it under. So you can see there's no issues. This one fits really good. For a second there, I thought maybe this was the front piece, but it was only moved around a little bit. See how this moves here? See if you can show this. So like, see that? You don't want this showing. You want to go right up to the cup holder and make sure you're right on the rails, and really, really use your fingers to push it around to get it right where you want it. And that's where we're going to tack it down. So again, we're going to let it dry out a little bit. like we're letting this dry, and we keep moving. Same thing over here. Like, see this piece here? We don't want to let that, you don't want to have this short. You don't want to see this up top. So if you have to, just lift it, pull it out, and do this one again. So spray there, spray here, and put it right in place. And again, I like to use the chrome edges as a guide point of, okay, I'm gonna go right up there, and I gotta make sure I cover it all. And then this will line up, and this. So don't be afraid to pull it up, squirt it down, start over. Guess I'm looking at the arches here while looking at the top. It looks good. Okay, now I'm going to do some more squeegeeing. I don't keep losing it. So I'm tacking it by holding it with my fingers, pushing the water out. Same thing here. Okay, so now one last check. Make sure we're not on the aluminum. We're right up to the edge of the aluminum plastic rail. We're gonna wipe this off so everything starts to dry, and then you can use a little more pressure. I see here I'm a little too high with this cup edge showing. I'll pull this down, spread this around. Sometimes you got to adjust it all, but you want it to look really, really good, and you don't want to see matte carbon fiber. Okay, now that thing's done. Now I'm going to hide this piece. Make sure there's no bubbles. Make sure it slides okay. And all this water is going to go away, so don't worry. Everything's going to dry out and look better. Let's check on our sliding centerpiece. Okay, she's looking really good. No dirt, no specks. I'm going to get it a little wet again, like this. And I'm going to go to the side and really, really push it out. I want to dry it out really good. Okay, then look at that. Now this is the most important area of the car. I think a lot of people don't understand that when people get in the car and they drop their keys or they drop anything on the car, that this is self-healing urethane plastic. You can heat up the heat gun, take scratches out. I mean, it's really making it bulletproof. So anyway, this is number one important thing to protect in the car. So, okay, I'm checking my sides here now. I'm checking this. This looks good. And I'm going to put this back in place. Okay, now I'm going to go down here and make sure that I'm good. Make sure that this is up high enough here. This I noticed was a little short, so I'm trying to move it around before it tacks down too much. I don't want to see any matte. So I'm going to make a little adjustment on this thing. Get some water under it so I can move around a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, so anyway, I just noticed a little bit of matte showing here. So I made an adjustment, moved it up, and now I'm going to squeegee this down my finger. So I don't want to see matte. You see this right there? I don't want to see matte. I want it all protected, and I want it to look factory OEM. I want people to say, damn, I didn't know Tesla used glossy carbon fiber. When did they start doing that? I'd say never. All right, so again, don't be afraid to get things a little wet. And then if it's wet on the top, you know, I'm pushing this edge over. See how I'm pushing this over, moving this around and down. I just really want this to look perfect. And I want our customers to be able to get it perfect. So again, I'm moving this up, moving this. You're moving it in little amounts. I hate to use the word stretching, but it is stretching a little bit. There. So you're forcing it around. It's really amazing, the contours and the areas that our installers do when we do full clear bra, how they can do it. It's awesome. Okay, and I've never clear brawed a car on anything except some of our own little parts. Okay, so that's good. All right, So now this is good. Don't push too hard. See what I'm doing? Just don't drag it or move it around. And let's feel down here. With this edge here, I got a little finger here. Just spread it around and let it dry. See, I'm not even squeegeeing hard. I'm just gonna spread this down. What's number one thing is this up here. That you're not leaving this. Nice. That's pretty damn good, huh? For as good as I can see. Same thing there. If it's starting to pinch up, just spread it around and water under it. Okay, so this side's looking good. If we have to pull it up and move it, we can do that when I'm sitting in that seat. So check it out. It looks pretty damn nice so far. I'm making some good headway. Now I'm gonna come over here. So this is the leg on the passenger side. And I'm going to wipe all my fingerprints off. I just got on it. And place this one down by putting it all the way up to the edge. So remember, the top edge is what you're going to see the most. Use your fingers, push some water out, let it dry. Same thing over here. If this isn't all the way to the top, push it over. Really nice. Okay, so wipe it off and let it dry a little bit. Let this dry a little bit. So we're going to go to the door panels next. Then overnight we're going to let it dry, and we're going to let you see how all this is going to just disappear. It's going to look like painted glass. And all the little dots and anything you think here looks like it's in the material. It's just moisture. It's like window tint, but it's thicker. All right, so why don't we do the door panels on the other side, and then we'll finish the dash up. So let's switch over here. Okay, now we're gonna finish the passenger side door handles. Again, get them wet. And come sit on your door sill. Getting a little mist on there. And slap it on. This will seem really easy after you do the other parts. Because you're just lining it up on this edge, right onto the chrome molding. Up here, up here, up here. And that's done. Now we want to anchor that again. So again, if you're here in that corner, and that corner's good, and you're not on the aluminum, just anchor it down like this, squeegee it. Now again, it's really weird, but it might be dry on the outside. So you gotta hit it. See how I'm hitting this like 10 times? And then it's finally grabbing. So until the water comes out, like this top section just won't go down. It won't tack. So that's why push, push, push. The more you push, the more it dries out underneath. So the under the bottom layer. And if you want to stretch it a little bit, make it fit really good right to the edge, feel free to do that. Yeah, get in here real good. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this piece here, see how it's down there? I'm putting it right at the bottom, and I'm giving it a little extra pull. Pulling it down there. Now I gotta get more water. So a lot of times people use alcohol as a way to tack things, but we didn't want to complicate it. You know, alcohol evaporates quick, so it's a way to anchor, like with our headlight protection kits and other things that we have. So up here, push this down. Okay, so again, check this line. Make sure you're not on it. Make sure you're above it. If you're above it, it gives you a little more slack. So you can go up higher. Then we're gonna let it dry out a little bit. Then we're gonna tack this down. So remember, areas that require the material to be stretched or kind of curled have to dry out a little bit, like this right here. anchor it, push the water out. Okay, now let's see how that just wants to let go. So it's just not dry enough yet. So again, just leave it like this. Don't worry, we'll come back. We're gonna do the back door, then we're gonna come back and hit this front door. And this whole area here is gonna stick down because the adhesive is gonna dry off. Okay, back door. So the back doors are flat on the ends, and the front doors are not. And the point goes down to the left. So I can tell that that's this one. On the sheet here, Rob. So the back ones this one has a little notch in it, so check this one out, everybody. Because this one wraps all the way around, it's very nice at Expel to make a pattern that actually has a miter cut in it, like a lot of people like to call it. So I'm gonna hang over this way, and I'll hang upside down. And we'll put this one on here, and then we're gonna slide it into the corner. So see how I'm moving the whole thing at once? Raising it up here, and that's gonna wrap right around. And sliding it back down into the corner a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now I'm squeegeeing, pushing all this down. And see this little flap on the end. We're gonna reach around and put that on last. So don't worry about it now. Get the water out. Check your line on the bottom. Make sure you're pressed all the way in to the corner. If you're not in this corner, then you're gonna be too long. Look at that, it looks awesome already. And then that's gonna wrap around. So if you want, you could just put it down like this for now. Once it dries out, we're gonna come back and hit it really hard. Okay, let's do the driver's side rear door, and then we keep going back and forth, double checking everything. Let's flip over there. Okay, it's the last two pieces. Now this is the backseat cup holder. We made this ourselves. This is not on the Expel pattern sheet, but it is carbon fiber. And since we're making a carbon fiber protection glossification kit, we're including it. Anyway, let's do the last door, and we'll get into the last back panel. I'll do my hangover thing. Same thing, we've got this almost a miter cut on the corner. Lay it on like this. If everything's wet, slide it in the corner. Now we don't want to stretch, so see what we're doing? The whole thing is moving. You don't want to stretch the pattern because it's measured perfect. So I'm on this edge, I'm all the way in the corner. If it won't lay down, then I'm too far, then slide it out. But try to get that corner down, try to get the top in, move the material, so I'm moving the material down here, and that'll flip right around this edge. And again, if I don't have enough material, I'm probably too far in. So come down here, check that corner. See how I'm moving the whole thing back? Pretty cool stuff. This urethane is awesome. Okay. Now here we go. Okay, so now we're on the edge. We're down here. So let's do a little anchoring. So I'm still wet, so I'm just spraying on here. And I'm right on this line. Anchor, 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 and dry. See? There isn't a lot of water, pretty easy to do. I'm not pushing too hard because I don't want to mess it up. See up here? We'll go around and we'll go over all these when we're done. And this is not going to hold on because it's not dry enough yet. So let's do the cup holder. Hop in the other side. This pattern, obviously it's rounded on the top, flat on the bottom, squared off on the bottom. So this one we're going to use just like this. Spray a little mist on there, mist on your fingers, and rip it off. Not really rip it off, but pull it off gently, if you can see it. There we go. So this is coming off, all one piece now, but don't let it touch itself. If it sticks to itself, it's not fun getting it loose, but you still can. Okay, so there's the flat top. So it goes this way. Lay it down. Look at how easy this fits. So we're going to position it like this, like this, like this. And that one goes there. So you're just able to move it all around and make sure you're not on the aluminum side rails. Push it all the way in here. So this one is nice and tight. Again, we made this. You won't get this anywhere except at RPM. And I'm making sure I'm right up to that edge. See that? Feel it. Right around, right around. Same thing here. So I don't want to see this matte. So look at this close up. See that? That's matte. I don't want to see matte. I want glossy. I want it glossified. And this is actually the first time we're testing this pattern. So if it is a little oversized on the outside area, we're going to trim it down. And you can see here, this is going to wrap all the way around the back. So we designed this to fit all the way around the back. So you should see a couple of millimeters here hanging over where we're going to tuck it after it's all dry. And same thing here. So I believe on this pattern, we're going to have to cut this back slightly because there's too much material. So we'll take a millimeter or two off of there and there. But other than that, it's gonna be awesome. We'll just finish the installation here. Push this up, get it right up on the edge. This one too. I'll take 2 millimeters off of that. And another thing people probably don't know, if you really want to wrap this in a really nice way, this whole piece pops out. So we actually purchased this piece from Tesla, and you can actually lift the entire piece out. It's one piece of carbon fiber, and we'll show people that. But this is probably too easy. We'll just do it like this and leave it alone. Okay, same thing here. You're able to tuck it down inside. Because I think, you don't want someone spills on here. You don't want have any issues with this coming loose. So we made it all the way to the extremes. Okay, cool. Great. Now we're going to let this one dry out and double check all the cup liner, and then we will roll this edge like this. It's absolutely dry. Okay, so now we're going to go back to doors. We're going to double check door edges. We're going to make sure that the center console is good. I think I should get in the driver's seat and always look at things from different perspectives, because you might sit in the driver's seat and then look at the passenger seat and go, oh, I didn't center this thing perfect. I should have you know, done a better job. So it's always good to look at things from different angles, just like life. All right. Elon, we need that stock to get back up. Let's finish this purchase with Twitter. And so I'm leaving this. I'm leaving all this like this and let it air dry. So let's go back to the doors and double check them all. And again, we're gonna go over edges like this. So let's just do a cleanup section now. Okay, driver's side door, we're gonna get this baby. And I like to do it like this. Put a little water on top, and we're squeezing it all the way down and out, drying it off, and then watch this. I'm gonna go right around the side. Push that down. I want that set up. We're gonna come back to it as it starts to grab. Okay, we'll go to the front seat, front driver's door. Again, this has had plenty of time to dry most of it out. So you just want to take a towel, maybe a towel and a squeegee is good. Like wrap it like this and go right around the top. That kind of puts pressure on it, sticks down any edges. And look at this corner here. Just go over the corner. Just go over the corner. This one's done. It looks great. I mean, look at the difference between this and this. You would never know this was glossy and this was matte and turned glossy. Okay, I'm gonna do the dash next. Let me hop in the driver's seat. And seat back. So again, the dash on the driver's side was one of the first pieces we did. And we left this piece up here. So notice this, still not touching anything. So we're gonna stretch it by pushing it down. And remember the end here was just like this. So just use your fingers or the squeegee and roll it over. And look at that. So the adhesive is sticking to the dry carbon fiber. Okay, now over here, same thing. We're gonna take fingers and we're gonna go here down the middle. Push that and hold it. Push this and hold it. All the way across and right here. I mean, look at that. Does Expel make good patterns or what? Damn. That fits perfect. Right up to the edge. No stretching involved. Around here, wiping the vents off. You can really see the vent there, how it mixes the air. And now I'm gonna get in here. And same thing. Just gonna push this down. And the screen moves a little bit away. So we're working on a product for this. But see how I'm putting the squeegee in here? And just tucking it in. Okay. All right. So we're gonna leave this one alone. Let it all dry out. But I'm really, really happy with this and how it just laid down perfect. Now, of course, on our steering wheel here, we don't need to worry because this is already glossy carbon fiber. So now, let's look at the center console. So I've got a little finger here. Maybe you can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so again, this looks a little pitted. Again, it's all trapped moisture, so don't worry. Everything is gonna look like this tomorrow. But we notice we have a finger here. So this is from the word, when your skin is bunched up and you have too much skin. So just push it down, get the water and the air out, hold it. Again, you can use a towel to do this. Just hold it, and once that adhesive's dry, it's gone. And then you can use anything you want here if you're a little too close or too far. And this looks good, everything looks good. With my little squeegee. We can go around all these edges. Even if you have water in here, don't worry, it's all gonna dry out. Right here. Let's see what you got back here. Okay, so we got this air bubble here. So same thing. If I press it down, as long as it's not wet, it's gonna stick. And it's only gonna stick when it dries out. We'll probably have to come back here. So we recommend, you know, don't close the armrest, because this one still has moisture in it. Again, it's usually because the water's run down. So leave that like it is. Don't worry about it. This side here could have been moved up a little bit. It's all drying out. Looks good. Looks good. This edge here could have been pushed back a little bit. But again, this is all under the armrest. So if you're real picky, just don't let it dry out. You know, like take care of all these little things like this. And you can use a heat gun if you want to stretch it a little bit. But I think the edges look amazing. I think you can see over here with the light, the coverage we got. Should be all good up there. You can still push this down if you want to get it to sit all the way at the bottom. So all we recommend, use lots of lights. Have lots of water and soap. But this is self-healing urethane plastic. You can drop your keys on here if you had keys. You can put anything on here you want. It's all going to dry out tomorrow. We're going to shoot some more video tomorrow. This side's done, and we're going to go around all the doors and make sure everything's good. But you're really protected and covered when you have clear raw paint protection film on your center console, your dash, door panels. I mean, no one's going to scratch this with their rings or anything. You can even hit a wire brush on here, heat it up. It's self-healing technology, and it's protecting it. And if you ever want to sell it, don't worry. You can peel it right off. Looks just like the brand new from the day you got it from Tesla. And let's see here, got a little water in there. So this is going to dry out. Just spread this down like this. If you find any spots, just pull it up. Okay, so when you've got some areas like this where water gets trapped, sometimes they have to dry out a little bit. So just don't worry. It's usually a little pocket of moisture, and that moisture is preventing the clear bra from grabbing, just like by the back armrest. So just squeegee it, let it dry. Spread the material out when you get these little fingers. Okay. Yeah, because this is all just trapped inside. So let it dry, let it dry. Don't be worried about it. Come back in half an hour, 20 minutes, or an hour.
Don't obsess over it.
Yeah.
It's gonna look great.
No OCD needed. Okay, so here, hold this with your other hand. That's okay. I just want to show, because this area here is just retaining a lot of water. That's one of the areas I wasn't able to squeegee. So, get it wet. Just push it down, push it out, and lock it down. So again, when it dries out more, you'll be able to get all these little spots if you've got any issues. And it won't glide over dry plastic. Keep it wet. Okay, now we're on the driver's side door. I'm using the towel with a pointed object, which is the squeegee. So rather than spray more water, I'm just using the towel to go along the top edge and angle it down. And just push all this down so it starts to grab. Get all the little water out. You notice like little air traps up here. Just hold it down like this. And push it out. Okay, let's go over to the back door now. We have to push a couple of flaps down. I think that we're drying on the back. Okay, so now we're on the passenger side back door. So we've got this to stick down. So just take your fingers and just push it. I like to do the top first, the middle, and now it's just grabbing. The adhesive is great. Put through these little fingers, tuck them in. And as you press them, they spread out. So you got really, really good coverage on this whole side panel here. Every time you open the door up, you know, you're not going to see matte. So the miter cut at the top helps. Hold that like that. This one in there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. And there's only one spot here that could be down a little bit better. So put a little pressure on it, hold it, or you could use some heat. We really want you to get professional results, and we're certain you can with this DIY kit. Okay, we're gonna leave this door open and come back. Let's go the other side. Okay, driver's side door. I noticed there's a little air on top, so I'm gonna go back and forth until this wants to stick. Could be some moisture in there. And then this is the flap. So same thing, a couple of fingers around the edge. Tuck that down. And then it's just this corner. So corners are always the hardest thing because you've got water and moisture and it's not totally dry yet. But this side sure looks good. So we'll hit these with probably a little bit of heat or just pressure. Tuck this in here. All right, let me take a look over here. So if you still got moisture and you still get an air bubble like this, it just has to dry out. It's even got some humidity in there. So don't worry about it, just push it up, let it dry. I'm wetting my squeegee. Let it dry. Get rid of all that. Hold it, go all the way down. Because this top edge, I think, is important. You want it wrapped inside. You don't want to see matte, but you don't want it coming off either. You don't want to see it hanging down. So when you get to this corner here, holding it, putting pressure on it. This one here. All right. That looks good, huh? Okay, driver's side door's done. Cup holders. Let's go hop in the back again and finish the cup holders. Okay. Okay, so I got a little extra material here. So we'll probably remove a little bit from this corner. You know, it's down pretty good. Don't want to have extra. Now this corner here, same thing. Watch the water ooze out. Okay. And now the flap. So I promised everyone this, and this is wireless charging dock, of course, but you're going to be hitting this with your phone, taking it in and out. So we really wanted to make a good pattern here. So I'm making the ridge. The ridge is the top of the edge. You can use your towel to do it. I'm not pushing it all the way down. Okay, so really see how it's starting to grab. Now all the way down around it, my finger's pinched on the ridge. And look at that. Every freaking millimeter is covered. Look at it all the way across. No exposed carbon. All right, I'm really happy with that. That's perfect results. Good job, Ryan. My son did that one. And then this one here, same thing, get the water out. Push it all the way in and tuck it in over the edge. All right, great. And then these two little tabs, like I mentioned, we're gonna cut these back slightly. And then we'll have perfect coverage. Okay, it's the back seat one, the only one in the world we know made. We had to buy this whole back seat armrest to make this piece. Okay, let this one dry out a little bit more. Again, tomorrow or later in the day, you can always use a heat gun and come back, and the heat gun will loosen the adhesive. Then you can press it down if you need to make adjustments. So that's always good later in the day or the next day. Okay, thanks.